The email came at 2:47 a.m. I only saw it because I couldn't sleep, scrolling through my phone in the dark while Emma breathed softly beside me. The subject line read, "Your cloud storage is almost full." I almost deleted it. Then I saw the sender. It wasn't from my cloud provider. It was from tech support at horizonte.com, a company I'd never heard of. I opened it. "Mr. Carter, this is Ben Torres from Horizon Data Recovery. I was doing routine maintenance on our servers when I noticed unusual activity on an account linked to your email. Multiple devices are syncing to a shared folder you may not be aware of. The activity patterns suggest this wasn't set up by you. I've backed up the folder contents before flagging it. You should see this. Don't access it from your home network. Come to our office tomorrow. Alone, 1247 Commerce Street, 3rd floor. I'll be here until 6 p.m. My hands went cold. I read it 3 times. Shared folder. Multiple devices. Not set up by me. I looked at Emma. Her face was peaceful in the dim light from my phone. We'd been married 2 years, together for 5. She was a pediatric nurse. She volunteered at the animal shelter. She made me coffee every morning before her shift. I slipped out of bed and went to the kitchen. My laptop sat on the counter. I opened it, hands shaking, and checked my cloud account. Everything looked normal. My work files, photos from our honeymoon in Greece, tax documents. Nothing strange. But there it was. At the bottom of the folder list, a folder I'd never created. It was called E-Backup. I clicked it. Password protected. I tried Emma's birthday. Wrong. Our anniversary. Wrong. Her mom's name. Wrong. After the 3rd attempt, the folder locked me out. I sat there in the dark, staring at the screen. Every rational part of my brain said there was an explanation. Maybe it was her backup. Maybe she forgot to tell me. Maybe it was nothing. But that email. Multiple devices. Unusual activity. I didn't sleep the rest of the night. The next morning, I told Emma I had a late meeting. She kissed me goodbye, told me to text her when I was free for dinner. I watched her drive away in her white Camry, the one with the dog mom sticker on the back window. Everything felt normal. Everything felt wrong. Horizon Data Recovery occupied a small office in a forgettable building downtown. 3rd floor, like the email said. The door was unmarked except for a small placard with the company name. Ben Torres looked nothing like I expected. Mid-50s, reading glasses hanging from a chain around his neck, wearing a Seahawks hoodie. He stood when I walked in. "Marcus Carter?" I nodded. He gestured to a chair across from his desk. "I'm glad you came. Look, I want to say up front, I'm not trying to get involved in your personal business. But what I found, it didn't sit right with me to just ignore it." "What did you find?" He turned his monitor toward me. "Your email is linked as a secondary account on a shared cloud folder. The primary account belongs to an Emma L. Carter." "That your wife?" "Yes." "Okay. So normally, that wouldn't be weird. Couples share cloud storage all the time. But here's the thing. There are 3 other devices actively syncing to this folder. 2 phones and a laptop. None of them are registered to either of your names." My chest tightened. "Can you see what's in the folder?" He hesitated. "That's why I called you. Technically, since your email is on the account, you have access rights. But the folder is password protected. However," he pulled out a flash drive. "I made a backup before the security locked it down. I haven't looked at it. That's your call. But I figured you should know it exists." I took the drive. It felt heavy in my hand. "One more thing," Ben said. "The sync pattern. These devices upload mostly at night. Between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. Almost every day for the past 6 months. Someone's been very active in this folder. And very careful about when." I drove to a coffee shop 3 miles from home. Ordered a black coffee I didn't drink. Sat in the corner with my laptop. The flash drive had 1 folder. Inside were hundreds of files. Messages, photos, videos, documents. I clicked on a text file labeled March, plans.txt. My vision blurred as I read. "Baby, I can't wait until he's finally gone. Just a few more months. Once we get the settlement from the firm, we're set. Half of everything he's worked for. The house. The accounts. All of it. My lawyer says with the documentation we have, it's airtight. And the best part? He has no idea." The message was from Emma. To someone saved in her contacts as J. I opened another file. A photo. Emma and a man I didn't recognize. His arm around her waist. They were at a restaurant. The date stamp showed it was from 2 weeks ago. The Tuesday she said she was working a double shift. Another file. A voice recording. I clicked play. Emma's voice filled my headphones. I know. I just need to keep playing the supportive wife a little longer. Marcus is so focused on making partner at the firm, he doesn't notice anything. And honestly, it makes this easier. He works 16-hour days. I have all the freedom I need. A man's laugh. What about when he does notice? He won't. Not until I want him to. And by then, it won't matter. Everything will already be in motion. I sat there in that coffee shop for 2 hours, going through file after file. Messages about transferring money from our joint account to a hidden one. Photos from a weekend trip to Portland I didn't know about. Plans to claim emotional abuse to maximize the divorce settlement. Screenshots of emails from a lawyer named Patricia Vance, outlining exactly how to document everything to make me look like a neglectful husband. They'd been planning this for 8 months. Since before our second anniversary. And the man. His name was Jordan Reeves. Emma's old college friend who'd moved back to Seattle last year. The one she'd reconnected with on Facebook. The one she'd invited to our house for dinner 3 times. I'd shaken his hand. I'd laughed at his jokes. I'd refilled his wine glass. My coffee had gone cold. My hands were steady. I felt nothing. Just a strange, crystalline clarity. I wasn't going to confront her. Not yet. I needed to think. I needed a plan. Because if Emma had taught me anything in 8 months of deception, it was this: patience and preparation win. That night, I came home like normal. Emma was making pasta, singing along to Taylor Swift. She smiled when I walked in. Hey babe. How was your day? Long, I said. I kissed her cheek. But good. We ate dinner. We watched Netflix. We went to bed. I held her while she fell asleep, and I stared at the ceiling, running through every file I'd seen. Every message, every photo, every plan they'd made. 2 could play this game. Over the next week, I did my research. I found out who Patricia Vance was. A divorce attorney with a reputation for aggressive tactics. I found her Yelp reviews, her past cases, her strategies. I made an appointment with Robert Chen, a lawyer from a different firm. A quiet guy who specialized in asset protection and prenuptial litigation. I didn't tell him everything. Just enough to get started. I want to protect my assets, I said. I'm worried about a potential divorce. Robert didn't ask questions. He gave me a list. Documents to gather. Accounts to secure. Steps to take. I started documenting everything. Emma's schedule. Her whereabouts. I installed a GPS tracker on her car, hidden under the rear bumper. Legal in Washington as long as I owned the vehicle. Which I did. The title was in my name. I hired a private investigator. A woman named Sarah Kim who looked like someone's mom but had 20 years of experience catching cheating spouses. I gave her Jordan's information. Within 3 days, she had photos. Emma and Jordan entering a condo in Bellevue. Staying for hours. Leaving separately. The condo was leased under an LLC. More digging revealed the LLC was registered to Jordan's business partner. Emma had a second apartment. A whole second life. I kept going to work. Kept coming home. Kept smiling. She had no idea. 2 weeks in, I discovered the bank account. Emma had opened it at a credit union in Tacoma. She'd been depositing money from our joint account. Small amounts. 300 here, 500 there. Enough to avoid triggering alerts. Over 8 months, she'd moved almost $30,000. My $30,000. Robert helped me file a freeze on our joint accounts pending a fraud investigation. We did it quietly. Through the bank's fraud department. Emma wouldn't know until she tried to access the money. Then came the real move. I called the law offices of Patricia Vance. Asked to speak to her about a divorce case. I'm sorry, the receptionist said. Miss Vance is on leave pending a disciplinary review with the Bar Association. Disciplinary review? I can't discuss details. Would you like to speak with another attorney? I said no thanks and hung up. Then I called Robert. Find out what Patricia Vance is being investigated for. I need to know. It took him 2 days. He called me while I was in my car. She's being reviewed for suborning perjury. A client accused her of coaching them to lie in court documents. The Bar Association is looking into multiple cases. If they find evidence, she could be disbarred. I smiled for the first time in weeks. That night, Emma came home upset. You okay? I asked. Yeah, just work drama. One of the doctors is being investigated. It's a whole thing. She was a terrible liar when she was stressed. I ordered takeout. We ate Thai food on the couch. She cuddled into me, and I stroked her hair. Whatever it is, it'll work out, I said. She kissed me. You're the best, you know that? I try. The next morning, I went back to Ben Torres. I need you to do something for me, I said. That folder. The one with all the files. Can you create an identical backup but lock it with administrative access? Something Emma can't delete remotely? Ben frowned. You're going to use this in court? Yes. He nodded slowly. Give me 2 days. While I waited, I met with Sarah Kim again. She handed me a thick folder. This is everything. Photos. Timestamps. GPS data. Phone records showing calls between Emma and Jordan. I also found something interesting. She slid a document across the table. Jordan Reeves is married. His wife's name is Christine. They have a 3-year-old daughter. She has no idea. I stared at the photo. Jordan, Christine, and their daughter at a park. Smiling. Does Christine know about Emma? I asked. Not yet. I leaned back. An idea was forming. Get me her contact information. I think she deserves to know what her husband has been doing. Sarah raised an eyebrow. You're going nuclear. They started this war. I'm just finishing it. 2 days later, Ben called. The backup was secure. Administrative access only. Emma couldn't touch it. I had everything I needed. That Friday, I told Emma I wanted to take her out to dinner. Nice place. Celebrate making it through a tough month. She seemed surprised but happy. That sounds perfect. We went to Canlis. Expensive, romantic. Overlooking Lake Union. Emma wore the blue dress I'd bought her for our anniversary. We ordered wine. She talked about work. About planning a trip to Napa. About maybe getting a dog. I nodded. Smiled. Played the role. When dessert came, I reached across the table and took her hand. Emma, I want to ask you something. She squeezed my fingers. Of course. Are you happy? Really happy? With us? Her eyes softened. Of course I am. Marcus, you're everything to me. I nodded slowly. Then I pulled out my phone. That's interesting. Because I found something last week that made me wonder. I opened the photo app. Showed her a picture. Her and Jordan. Outside the Bellevue apartment. The color drained from her face. Marcus, I can explain. Don't. My voice was calm. Cold. I know about Jordan. I know about the apartment. I know about the $30,000 you've been hiding. I know about Patricia Vance and your divorce plan. I know about the fake abuse allegations you were going to file. I know everything, Emma. She started to cry. Please, let me explain. It's not what you think. It's exactly what I think. I've read your messages. All of them. I've seen the photos. I've heard the recordings. You've been planning to destroy me for 8 months. People at nearby tables were starting to look. Emma noticed. She lowered her voice. Marcus, please. Can we go home and talk about this? No. We're not going home. You're not going anywhere near our house. I've already had the locks changed. Your things are in storage. The code is your mother's birthday. You have 30 days to move them. Her tears stopped. Her expression hardened. You can't do that. That's illegal. Actually, it's not. The house is in my name. You're not on the deed. My lawyer made sure everything was filed correctly. You have no legal claim. The joint account. Frozen. Pending fraud investigation. Those transfers you made? The bank is very interested in why you opened a secret account and moved marital funds without your spouse's knowledge. Emma's hands were shaking. I'll take you to court. I'll get a lawyer. Patricia Vance? I heard she's a bit busy right now with that disciplinary review. Something about coaching clients to commit perjury. I wonder if the Bar Association would be interested in the documents you two prepared together. Her face went white. I leaned forward. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to sign a separation agreement. You get nothing from the marriage except what you came in with. You don't contest it. You don't fight it. You disappear quietly. And if I don't? I smiled. Then every message, every photo, every file from your little cloud folder becomes part of the public record. Including the ones where you discuss framing me for abuse. And I'll make sure Jordan's wife Christine gets copies too. I have her email address. I'm sure she'd love to know what her husband has been doing. Emma's breathing quickened. You wouldn't. Try me. The waiter appeared with the check. I paid with my credit card. The one Emma no longer had access to. We walked out in silence. In the parking lot, Emma turned to me. I never meant for it to go this far. Yes, you did. You planned every step. You just didn't plan on getting caught. What about Jordan? What about him? You think I care what happens to him? He's your problem now. But I'd hurry. Christine is expecting an email from me on Monday if I don't get your signed agreement by Sunday night. Emma started crying again. Real tears this time. Marcus, please. I made a mistake. We can fix this. We can go to counseling. Emma. I looked at her. really looked at her. I loved you. I would have done anything for you. I worked those 16-hour days to build a future for us. I trusted you completely. And you used that against me. You planned to take everything I built and destroy my reputation in the process. There's no coming back from that. I got in my car. The agreement will be emailed to you tomorrow morning. Sign it. Move on. And stay away from me. I drove away. In my rearview mirror, Emma stood under the restaurant lights, alone. That weekend, I got the signed agreement. Emma didn't fight. She knew she had no choice. On Monday, I sent Christine Reeves everything. Photos, messages, timeline. Everything that showed what her husband had been doing. She filed for divorce on Tuesday. Jordan called me Wednesday. Screaming, threatening. I let him finish. Then I said, "You helped my wife try to destroy my life. Now you get to see what that feels like. Don't ever contact me again." I blocked his number. A month later, the divorce was finalized. Emma got nothing except the car she came into the marriage with and her personal belongings. She moved back in with her mother in Spokane. Last I heard, she's working at a different hospital. Jordan is fighting his own divorce and paying child support. Patricia Vance was disbarred 6 months later. Turned out the Bar Association found evidence she'd been coaching clients to lie for years. I sold the house. Too many memories. Bought a condo downtown. Started dating again. Slowly, carefully. Some nights I still think about it. About the moment I opened that email from Ben Torres. How my entire life changed in one night. I think about Emma making me coffee. Emma singing in the kitchen. Emma kissing me goodbye. All of it was a performance. All of it was fake. But I also think about the moment in the restaurant when she realized she'd lost. When she understood that I'd outplayed her at her own game. I didn't just survive the betrayal. I came out stronger, smarter, free. People ask me if I regret how I handled it. If I wish I'd done things differently. I tell them the truth. Emma taught me that love without respect is worthless. That trust given blindly is a weapon in the wrong hands. That sometimes the kindest thing you can do for yourself is walk away from people who see your goodness as weakness. I don't hate her anymore. I just don't think about her. I'm too busy building a life with people who deserve to be in it. People who don't need to be caught, to be honest. People who understand that real love doesn't require scheming. The cloud folder is still backed up on my hard drive. I've never accessed it again. Don't need to. I already won.